What's going on, guys? Naz here on the Spooling Up channel. As some of you may have seen recently, I did a speaker upgrade in the front doors and in the rear of the car also. The only things that I didn't do was replace the tweeters. Part of the reason being it wasn't a straight swap, so I did everything that was a straight swap. But what I actually did was I actually bought 2 spare tweeters with the panels that they come mounted in. And I've actually modified these so that they'll go on the car now. So these have my Alpine tweeters in them, as opposed to the standard ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ones that are on the car now off, straight swap those ones on, and then test it and see how we go. It should help improve things a little bit. And then next thing I'll be doing is my head unit. But at the moment there's a little bit of crackling coming from those tweeters on some of the vocals on the music. So I'm going to get them changed now. But yeah, let's get straight into it and see how we get on with this one. Right, so here are the 2 tweeters along with the panels that they come with. This one I have already actually modified and changed the tweeter inside. The one on the left I have yet to do, but the purpose of me not doing this one yet is so that I can show you exactly how I did them. It's a good thing I actually bought these as a spare pair, so I've still got the ones fitted to my car at the moment, but these are just a spare pair that I tried to modify. If anything went wrong with it, I would have had still had the original ones on my car, but on the car these little tabs here are actually broken, so it's a good thing that I got these replacements anyway. I did try and repair them in the video where I placed my actual car speakers, but it sadly hasn't lasted. So yeah, like I said, this one's done. That one I'm going to show you how to do now. I'm not completely finished on this one here because I still have some of the wiring to sort out, but I'm waiting for some electrical connectors anyway. Okay, so first things first, what you want to do is get rid of this foam kind of insulation backing, which will reveal the back of the tweeter itself. Now, what I originally did was I used a knife to cut through all of the soft adhesive around the edge of the speaker, but all that actually did was disconnected the speaker itself from the bracket that mounts it into this panel, and then I just ended up having to remove the bracket anyway. So what I'm going to do now is remove the bracket itself, and then hopefully the speaker will come out of it, and that will cut one of the steps out that I actually tried to do originally. And this is the whole purpose of me doing one side before I show you guys the best way I think to do it, because I've learned that it may actually be quicker to just go for the bracket straight away and see if we can lift the whole speaker out. Okay, so what I've got here is like a craft knife. It's the thinnest thing that I could find to go around the bracket. Now there are 3 points where it's mounted. There's one here, one down here, and then one just on the other side over here. So I'm just going to cut through those posts, and then we'll see if it removes the speaker. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera now, because it's a little bit difficult at the moment. I'm actually watching what I'm doing through my camera, so I'm going to try and do it with the camera out of the way and then show you guys. Okay, so all I did was I cut through the top one and I just peeled the whole lot back, and it literally snapped out of place. So there we have the old tweeter removed. Now we're left with this panel here. All I'm going to do is basically remove this mesh part here, and then we're ready to begin modifying. Okay, so here is the new tweeter that I'm going to be fitting, and here is the old one that I just removed. Now, they are roughly the same size, but because we need to put this through the actual hole in the piece of trim, we need to trim the trim itself down a little bit. Because this sits right at the back of the hole, it's okay, it's got a mounting bracket and everything, but I'm actually going to be modifying the trim to slot this tweeter in, and I'll show you what I mean just in a minute. So what I actually want to do is pass everything through the hole and get this new tweeter in place like such, but it won't fit. So
what I'm going to do is modify this panel here just to allow this to sit in nice and flush here. So I'm just going to get my little handheld rotary tool out. It's not a Dremel, it's a little fake one, but I'm just going to basically tickle some of this hole out in order to fit this tweeter in so it sits nice and flush. Now at this point I'm just using whatever I could find in my kit because some bits of it are broken. You only really need to take the slightest bit out, so I'm just going to start removing some of it and we'll try and see if we can sit the tweeter in after. Now I've given this a couple of attempts, couple of trial and errors, but I've finally got there now. As you can see as well, I've not actually damaged anything. It doesn't look bad at all. I've literally just run it round and round and round and round just to make this hole a little bit bigger. You wouldn't even notice. And all I'm going to do now is just show you that I've managed to get this to fit in quite nicely actually. So that's a pretty good snug fit in there now. The only thing that's left to do is a little modification with the wires and that foam insulation on the back. This does already look so much better as well, so it's really nice to have these new ones in there. It should improve my sound quality even more, and then once I do my head unit I think things are going to be pretty good up front there. Now I just wanted to turn the attention to the connectors on the end of the wiring for the new tweeter here. These will not actually plug into the loom for the Golf, and I don't know if you can get like an adapter kit with a plug on the end of it so it will go into the loom, but what I'm going to do for now, I'm going to cut off the plug from the old tweeter here and I'm going to join this wire in along to this one somewhere, just so that I can plug it directly into the car, and fingers crossed everything there works fine. So I'm going to make a cut here and a cut here, join them up, and then see what we're left with. Okay, so I've actually cut and stripped the wires both on the loom from the old tweeter and the loom from the new tweeter, so all I've got to do is join them up and then test them to see if they work. I've got some spade connectors here. I'm just wondering at the moment whether I should actually solder them and use a bit of heat shrink over the top rather than using these connectors here. I'm not too sure what to do. On the other one I have used these connectors, so it may be something that I use for now, and then when I get some more electrical connections and fittings I might actually change it over, but let's see for now. Anyway, I'll crimp these on and see how we go. Right, so I've got it all crimped and joined up. It's more the look of things. I think it looks a little bit messy, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some electrical tape and just tie these together before I actually fit this all to the car. Just for now, need to tuck the wires back through this little passageway here, and also I'm going to have to get this foam backing on, but it's going to require just a little bit of modification. Get rid of this lump here just so it will sit nice and flush on the back of this, and then it will be time to go and fit these to the car and see how we go. Right, so that is the foam backing also modified. I've just cut out the big chunk that was here before, so now that it can sit nice and flush over the back of the wires here. So I'm going to pop that on, and then all we're left to do is put the little mesh grill on the front of the tweeter, and then I'm going to go and stick them on the car. Right, that's both sides done, ready now to go and put them on. Right, so I'm getting pretty good at taking these panels off now. First thing I'm going to do is just get a flathead screwdriver in here and pop that part of the handle there off at the front. So I actually started off here because there's a bigger gap, and I just put my screwdriver in until the gap gets bigger. Pull that off, and then we've got a Phillips there and a Phillips in that hole there, which you can't see because the camera's dark. So we need to remove those two now as well. Next, gonna do the Phillips up in the corner, which is screwed in on my car, but
what it screws into is actually broken, so I don't believe it's doing anything. So I'm just going to get this one out as well. Next, we've got the torque screws at the bottom of the door card. New speakers in there, looking pretty good. So I'll do those Torxes now, and then we'll pretty much be ready to pull it off. Right, so I've already gone one step ahead and started pulling the panel away. So I've released all the poppers. All I've got to do now is lift the whole door card up, pull it away, disconnect everything at the back, and set it to the side for now. Right, so we've got the door card off. This is the piece here that's broken, and I'll show you on the new ones because it's actually okay on them. But yeah, that bit snapped off. I'm gonna go ahead and undo this Torx, also unplug the tweeter from here, and then hopefully this all comes out and I'll show you what the old ones look like. Right, so here we go. Here's the old one off now. I'm just gonna literally clip my new one on there, plug it in, test it quickly, and see if we're good, and then I'll turn my attention to the other side once I've put all of this back together. Right, so I've popped the new tweeter and the panel all into place, tested it, everything's all good, it works, it definitely sounds a lot better so far. Just cable tied the loom up a little bit to keep it out of the way, and here's that tab that was broken on the other one, so it's cool here. So all in all, everything's going back together in a much better shape. Gonna put the door card back on this side, then I'm gonna do the driver's side and have a little test up, see how we go. Right, so time to crack on with the driver's side. First thing I'm going to do is pop off this little bit of trim at the back of this handle and switch panel, pull that off, and then I'll be able to lift up this whole panel and disconnect all the wires underneath, and then pull that out of the way. Right, so now that panel's out of the way, we've got the 3 Phillipses here, so it's time to undo those, and then again we've got the torque screws down at the bottom which need to come out. We've got the same screw up here on the tweeter which also needs to come out, and then we're going to disconnect everything over the back of the door card once we've pulled it away and released the poppers, and then we're going to lift it out of the way. I'm not going to go through step by step on this one because now that I've got that switch panel out of the way, it's pretty much the same, so I'm going to crack on and move this one out of the way. Right, this side's off now as well. You can see that little tab there on this one was unfortunately also broken. I tried to repair it last time. Sometimes glue just isn't good enough, so yeah, again, gonna take this old tweeter off, get my new one on there, box it all up, and give it a test drive, see how it sounds on the road. And I've got some music playing, and hopefully that's all good. But to be honest with you, this job so far pretty straightforward. I can see the silver in the door from the door speaker. I can just about make out from where I'm sitting with my own eyesight, maybe not through the camera, but you can see the Alpine tweeter through there. But yeah, let's turn our attention back to this side and get it changed and see how we go. Right, so that is this side also done now, all good, ready to go. Let's get the door card on and see exactly how these new tweeters sound. I'll let you guys know anyway. I'll be completely honest about it. Until the head unit's gone, I'm gonna put a nice double din in here. I'm not too sure whether to go for like a retro kind of one or go for a newer one, because I don't really need things like a CD player and that kind of thing. I'd rather just get something up to date and I can have Bluetooth and all the rest. But yeah, for now, let me finish this off. Okay, so I've just gone for a quick drive just to kind of see if those tweeters had made a difference, because I went on a long journey yesterday on the motorway, and while I was driving my car I was like, damn, the crackling and fizzing coming from those tweeters was really getting on my nerves, and I had to kind of keep the volume turned down a little bit because the quality in all the other speakers is a lot better now. You can kind of notice that they were problem areas. Now I've obviously replaced them, they're so much better. So next is going to be the head unit, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully see you guys on the next video. Try and get some different areas of content, try and get something done on the Fiesta soon. I had a bit of news in the pipeline, not sure what's going to happen with that at the moment, but fingers crossed all goes to plan. But yeah guys, thanks for watching the video.